Welcome back, Summoners. With the situation looking dire and their dreams quickly fading, OG refused to give up, refused to go gently into that good night, as Niels put the team on his back and rocket jumped them straight from the jaws of defeat to a victory. And now here we are. We find ourselves in Game 5 of a series tied at 2-2 in what has been one of the most thrilling championships to date. And now we see that Fnatic trying to pick up from that terrible loss is going to be on blue side, while OG is going to be on red side. And we're going to have to see what's going to happen. Fnatic already banning the Kalista. They've been known to ban the Kog'Maw as well. There's going to be a huge value play placed upon the Tristana and gameplay, as Origin decides to ban the Shen as well. They've banned Kog'Maw in every game, but assuming that Origin's going to try to pick up Tristana if Fnatic gets gameplay, they may just want to, nope, they decide to go ahead and ban the Kog'Maw anyway, and it's going to be a decision between Varus again, which they've been doing 3 out of the 4 games, or perhaps they want to ban Elise or Tristana as well, maybe the gameplay. Azir is going to be a big one for Origin. Peke just not really showing up on the champion. Febizen, a master of that champion, is going to be able to use it. I want to think that they're going to go ahead and try to ban the Azir as well, but also maybe the Sivir. But for right now, they're looking like they're willing to go ahead and ban out the Elise, ban out the strong pick, and see what Reignover has in his arsenal, if he's going to be willing to pull something else out for Game 5 of this series. And Fnatic's going to sit back, and I would only think maybe Varus, Tristana, or GP would be their go-to. Unless they want to pick up Tristana as well, because it's been a big one in this whole series. Tristana coming out from the background, pushing down turrets, taking objectives. It's been a key to victories for both Fnatic and for Origin, and they come out with the Varus pick. And Origin left to decide if they want to go ahead and ban the GP, or go ahead and ban either Sivir for the hard engage, or perhaps even Tristana. As I said, Reckless has been impeccable at using Tristana to win 2 of the games, being a leading role in those 2 games. And to avoid Fnatic's hard engage, they go ahead and take the Sivir away, prevent the On the Hunt. In Games 1 and Games 3, lack of engage was a huge reason why Fnatic lost both of those games. And so we're going to see at least the strongest jungler banned out. What is Reignover going to go to? Huni likes to play carries. So is Reignover going to go with a tank, going to go with somebody with engage, or is he going to try to win the lanes again, try to push for a good 2-on-2 and get the Nidalee, which was a bit lackluster last game? We're going to find out. Fnatic, though, for the time being, placing a huge value on Lulu. Putting that first pick, it's safe, it's a flex pick, it goes mid, it goes top. Doesn't give away any strategy, but if you decide to build a comp around a hard carry, they'll have that extra shield, the health picks, the whimsy to speed them up, a lot of just mechanisms by which to protect whatever carry they're going to go with. And now let's see what 2 hard carry picks Origin's going to go with. GP is up, Tristana is up. Both of those have been crucial in almost every win that both teams have had. Tristana, especially for Games 3 and Games 4, was quintessential in helping make those final pushes. So let's see if they go ahead and place value on that. For now, amazing hovering over the Janna. You would think, though, Games 1 and 4 were won with Braum as a support. Been huge in case Fnatic decides to pick up Azir or Victor. Braum is good at blocking all of that damage. But for now, they're going to pick up the Tristana, they're going to pick up the Janna, and let's see if they're going to be secure with leaving GP open to Fnatic, because so far they haven't had an answer other than last game bringing up the Tristana. But it was touch and go there for a while. Assuming Fnatic's able to get some actual good engage, it may not be the same story as last time. Being down more than 7k gold does not seem a place you want to be, considering that if they get that hard engage, it's going to be hard to keep that GP down. He's good with pro comps, he's good at just general zoning, and he's a strong top lane champion. And Olaf was not a great pick last time. Maybe Soaz has something else to answer. Reignover looking like he might just go with that classic Olaf, able just to take a whimsy, a help picks from Lulu, and just go straight down into the backline. Febizen hovering over the Corki pick, and they go with it. So far, you've got a very strong early to mid game coming out of Fnatic. Lulu, Olaf, Corki, all great champions that are going to scale in. Lulu's going to provide great utility, and Olaf from the early to mid game is going to be able to dive those champions, pick up a gold lead in the early game. Corki's going to be able to do the same thing as well. Let's see what Origin wants to do to counteract it. Do they want to pick up GP in the second round? Do they want to go ahead and pick up, a Gragas, some utility champion that Amazing's been using in the last, three out of the 4 games he's been using Gragas. Typically, OG without GP has placed their hopes on enemies, even the game with Corki, trying to funnel as much gold to them. So we're going to see what they pick up in terms of the top lane pick. They've left Riven open. Azir's been open. Is Pickett confident enough to pick up that Azir right now and lead the victor to Febiven? Apparently so. He's going to go with the Azir. He's going to pick that up. And we're going to see if the mechanical skill that he's been using, that he's been practicing with, is going to be enough to take that Azir and use it as a hard carry to push Origin over the top and carry out a win. Fnatic right now hovering over Twisted Fate. Could be a good pick. Febiven has gone often to Victor, once to Orianna. He may just be hovering over the Twisted Fate and instead deciding which one of those two he wants to go with. If not, perhaps trying to go ahead and pick up a pick, using that Destiny to engage in superior map rotations and pull out a lead in the early game that way. We're going to see right now, Yellow are realizing that they've lacked hard engaged characters for both games 1 and 4, which Origin won both of those. So Annie, the Flash Tibbers, is going to be an excellent form of engage. He might just be going with it, and it appears for now Funi has been known to be really good at using the Rumble. Now Rumble, one of those picks too. It looks like they're going for broke in this series. They're basically saying that we're going to take the early and the mid game, we're going to push it, we're going to win it, and we're going to cultivate a large enough lead that you're not going to have time to farm up on Azir. You're not going to have time to farm up on Tristana, and you're not going to have time to farm up on GP if we go with this. So Fnatic betting on their hopes on superior map rotations, superior team fight in the early to mid game, picking up a significant gold lead that's going to be able to carry them through and help them win a game within 30, at the most, a 40-minute benchmark. Origin deciding what they're going to do. They have a good team fighting comp, but it's one that's going to scale. So they're going to have to be willing to give up some objectives in the beginning, a few dragons, maybe even considering a lane swap in order to allow GP to pick up some gold and not get dove by an aggressive Olaf with Fumi on that Rumble. So we're going to find out. We're going to see what they pick. And yes, it is that GP that we're going for. So the danger for Origin is their win condition is to buy time. Buy time. Wait for GP to go pick up the Infinity Edge. Pick up that Trinity first. Get to scaling. It's going to be the same with Tristana. She wants to pick up Infinity Edge, a Static Shiv, or a PD. And it's going to be the same with Azir too. So they're getting into a scaling comp early to mid game. It's not going to work out so well for them. They're going to have to be willing to give up on those dragons, utilize dragon timings to go ahead, engage in superior map rotations themselves, perhaps trading dragon for turrets. But at the very least ensuring that at the beginning of this game, there's going to be a lot of early game cheese on the part of Fnatic. And they're going to want to go ahead and just win these lanes, build a gold advantage, and it's going to be up to Origin to go ahead and minimize that loss as much as possible. And here we are, Game 5 of the EU Championship Summer Finals in 2015, the last game of the year before Worlds, last European game. Both teams entering the Rift, both teams gonna go for broke, willing to leave it all on the table, and we're gonna find out who comes out ahead. Guys, it's your last chance to go ahead on Twitter and vote for who you think's going to take this game, Game 5 of the Championship Series. We have an exciting crowd before you, getting ready, getting hyped as I'm feeling about Game 5 of the Championship Finals. So let's get onto the Rift, and let's see how both of these teams are going to do. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Origin's going to want to go ahead and attempt to ward up and ensure for themselves that they're going to go ahead and get that lane swap. Because it's going to look like at the beginning, Once Rumble gets to 3 to 4, he's going to be able to take an advantage over GP. It's going to be the same with Lulu in the beginning. She'll be able to outpoke Azir for a while, until he gets a few levels to raise the level of his Sand Soldiers as well. And Tristana Annie can be a brutally nasty comp as well. They picked up Janna. Janna's going to be a very good counter for that in terms of being able to put Eye of the Storm on Tristana, shield for Tristana, add a bit of attack damage to help in the trades. But overall, it looks like the lane should go to Fnatic, and Origin might want to go ahead and try to get the lane swap, but maybe they decide that they would want to go ahead and go for standard lanes as well, as both teams go in toward the jungles. Fnatic down on the red side, putting a bunch of wards on the red side to see how Origin wants to play this, to see if they're okay with the standard lane setup that they have, or maybe utilizing the last 25 seconds before the minions get to the lane, having Corki move up. We're going to see how it plays out. So far, it looks like game plan Soaz going down, getting ready to double jungle with Amazing. The same goes for Huni, and Tristana is moving up towards the top lane, passing by a ward. They're going to see this. Nonetheless, Fnatic, I think it's too late to move down the lane, so they're going to be okay with this. Looks like maybe Reckless and Yellow start moving into Origin's jungle to go ahead and try to disrupt them, try to push them off the wolf camp, throw off their timing a bit. Here they come. Yellow start with a nice stun, is able to go ahead and put some damage down on them, throw off a barrel, but other than that, doesn't look like much. The wolf, the spirit, the wood spirit is able to find Annie. He's going to show his position, so he's just going to go ahead, back down, move back to the lane, and continue pushing the lane with Reckless. Miffy doing some roaming down to the mid lane, and Peke putting down some really good damage on Febiven. Maybe I was wrong, putting some really good poke on the Lulu. As Miffy and Soaz move towards his top, Soaz gonna go get some vision of what's happening. They're gonna get ready, try to push this turret as fast as possible. Tristana with the explosion shot is going to be able to get some good damage down, and if they go at this 3 people to the turret and only the 2 to Fnatic, they'll really take it much faster, though it looks like Amazings and, Rainovers and Huni are gonna go ahead and try to rotate towards the bottom. They're going to go ahead and push that turret too. We'll see if Amazing doesn't move up with Origin to do the same thing. So we have both teams doing it. Amazing taking the time to get the Scuttle Crab. And he's actually just going to go ahead and move into Rainover's jungle, take the move up, take the Gromp, take the Wolves, and just go ahead and keep farming because Tristana with that explosive shot was able to get that turret down. Oh, wow. They leave it one shot open, but they'll be able to return to it. Maybe just going to go ahead and trying to deprive Fnatic of just that much more farm. So as taking a bit of damage, but it looks like he might want to push that down one more wave. But I think if he's smart, he'll go ahead and want to try to back because he should know that Reckless and Yellowstar should be on their way to continue the lane swap and push down since Huni's on the bottom, getting ready to push that lane as well. And both teams pinging, trying to find out. Looks like Rainover's pinging to move over to the river bush, see if he can't get a gank onto Azir. Decides differently and decides to move down. Yellowstar getting ready to move into the same jungle. He might be getting ready to put a gank on Azir as well. But for now, he's going to let the warding be enough in the river. Miffy throws down a pink, catches the river ward, and Yellowstar decides instead to place one in the bush to give Febiven some security and knowing that he'll be able to see anybody coming at least from the bottom half of the game. Tristana moving down, Niels and Mythic getting ready to push the bottom. For the time being, Corki's on his own. Looks like he's just going to go ahead, start trying to farm a gold, farm a lead. And Annie's going to come down instead and try to delay the timing with which Origin's going to be able to go ahead and push his turret. Rainover looking to do the same thing, looking to help Huni out, especially with this wave being pushed in, looking to provide some backup. Looks like Yellowstar is going to think that this might be enough. No, he's in between backing, deciding whether or not there's going to be something happening, some action happening, or whether he can go back up and join Corki, who right now finds himself in the 2 lead. For now, a Howling Gale goes off, a nice Zephyr rocket jump comes up. They're trying to put the chase on, And Niels forced to flash as a threat from Reignover's Ghost, and Huni's slow was enough to slow them down, but here comes a teleport from Soaz. First blood goes to Olaf as they go in. GP, not done. Parlay killed Annie, and Reignover pursuing Mithy, almost got him. Flamespitter enough to finish that kill. Double kill goes over to GP as he's able to take out Olaf. Olaf able to get the kill onto Yellowstar, and now the duel goes out. Flamespitter versus Parlay. Parlay wins. Yar! Soaz taking all of the booty, taking all of the gold, and he's able to go ahead and win that lane, that exchange, 3 for 2 in favor of OG. Fnatic perhaps thinking too much on what they, not really underestimating the value of the teleport that Origin had to bring in a third person, whereas they were just 3v3 to begin with. And let's take a look at that again. There's a nice stun by Annie. Exhaust is put on to Niels, but it's just not enough. Flamespitter and the axes by Olaf enough to take out Niels. And suddenly we have Flamespitter following on Mithy too. We've got Soaz trying to get Reignover, trying to do damage. Reignover and Huni able to get the kill onto Mithy before they died, and then it just becomes a 1v1 duel. Flamespitter versus Parlay. Parlay wins out. Soaz still scared, flashed away to avoid any additional damage. But wow, what a great trade in favor of Origin. The beginning is favoring Origin for the time being. They're up about 500, 600 gold at the time being. This is sort of where they want to be, mitigating Fnatic's early game lead. Because early game to mid game is where Fnatic's going to try to find ways, team fights like they just tried to do, in order to go and cultivate gold leads, so that way they don't have to worry about their typical. Huni and Soaz going. Soaz farming, trying to build up those gold stacks to level up his ult, throwing down some powder kegs, but backs off after he sees Reignover with the ward. And Amazing backing up himself, maybe hopefully letting Huni push a little bit so he can go ahead and take the farm a little bit closer over to his turret. He's got some wards up there to suss out Olaf in case he tries to come up behind him in the river. And Soaz playing a dangerous game, not knowing whether he should be greedy enough to go up and try to farm the lane, or just go ahead and wait. Not quite sure where Reignover is, but Amazing coming down the lane, looking to maybe either help relieve pressure, get the wave pushed down, get at the turret, so he can go ahead and bounce back. Oh, but a nice Flamespitter gets released by Huni. Here they go. Equalizer put down, excuse me, a nice equalizer. Flamespitter follow-up. Not enough, as Amazing and Soaz able to go ahead, body slam in, stun him up, and get the kill. But Reignover coming in saying, nah bro, sorry, you ain't getting that for free. And a nice axe able to finish it off. 1 for 1 in that trade, as an even trade continues. Lulu was moving over, getting ready to back him up. Yellowstar comes back, rotates to the mid lane to mitigate what Pekka can do to the turret, and Febvin returns back. But here we see an interesting turn of events as both teams looking to make something happen, looking to push things, and Amazing, very, very astute, very aware that this is what Fnatic is looking to do. This is the sort of pressure and kill leads they're trying to take. And so he reads Reignover, knows that he's going to go to the top lane, knows that he's going to go to where GP's 2 pushed out. And with a good turnaround, is able to at least go 1 for 1 in that trade. Meanwhile, now we have a return back to standard lanes. Both teams sending their top laners top, and their AD carry support combos bottom. And for the time being, it looks like Corki is doing well with what he's with his early game advantage and taking a bit of a gold lead. Not much, but 7 kills is still a lot. And Peke really showing some more mechanical skill and deftness with Azir than I had thought previously after watching him in Game 3 trying to play it. Really coming out with a nice cultivating what is going to be the start of a nice gold lead over Lulu. 92 minions to 78, up at least a couple of hundred gold, and that is helping build this gold lead. But even despite this gold lead by Peke, there's been, because of the way that the lane was pushed up down over towards the bottom side of the map towards Fnatic, Huni able to cultivate a 16 gold lead over Soaz. And right now the game, even though you think that the superior rotations by Origin, reading Fnatic, able to counterplay them would have led to a bigger lead to them continuing to grow the 600 gold lead. It's in fact shortened down to one that's only about 200 gold. As we have both teams warding around the Dragon Pit, getting ready, reading that in about 3 to 4 minutes, there's probably going to be a play down over by the Dragon, as Fnatic's definitely going to try to look to monopolize on their early game advantage, try to start picking up objectives. Right now we have Amazing coming to meet Peke, coming to tank the Golem buff, so Peke can go ahead and get blue. A few hits from one of the Sand Soldiers is able to finish it off for him. Huni digging deep into Soaz as he lays a nice equalizer, but Soaz with a cannon barrage is able to deter him, slow him down, prevent him from taking the kill. But wow, that damage put down by Huni is something amazing, showing that he's really asserting his dominance in that top lane, asserting that gold lead, and Soaz trying to find a way to come back, but it's really hard to, especially when those minions are so far down the lane and you're left with very little vision. And right now we see it. Fnatic has 2 pinks to the 1 of Origin. Origin putting some good warding around the Dragon Pit, reading up on it. Actually amazing. Trying to go in, trying to take advantage of Fnatic's positioning and trying to take this early Dragon, but seeing the having the ward set up with the Tri-Bush, seeing Yellow Stars, seeing Rainover come over is enough to deter them. So Soaz is down over by the top lane while Huni gets the free farm, and I think that might be a bit of a mistake. It's allowing Huni to go ahead, continue to cultivate his minion farm, and at the same time able to come down with the teleport to meet Soaz in case anything has gone down. And here we come, Huni reading Soaz's movements, knowing he wants to come up, and further depriving him of minion farm as he just sits around the Tri-Bush, trying to buy time, trying to let the turret kill as many minions and deprive Soaz as much as possible. And in a move by Soaz that led him to the bottom lane and did not lead to any results, Soaz continues to fall further and further into a minion deficit. Meanwhile, Minty and Niels push down the bottom lane, got the farm pushed down over to the turret, and are backing right now. And Niels and Minty still finding a way to dominate in the lane despite what should be... Oh, and we have an equalizer throw down. Rainover able to go into berserk mode, get some axes down. Yellowstar on the way, able to stun him, and they're able to pick up the kill onto Soaz. Amazing was by, was going to try to help out. Then in a 3v2, he knew there was nothing else they could do, and Soaz yet again is gaining focus, and they're making sure to put down this GP as much as possible to mitigate the zoning he's going to have later in the mid to late game, and ensure that it's going to be extremely hard for Origin to find themselves getting to the late game. As we have another turret go down, Fnatic and Origin able to push down 2 turrets. They've gone 2-2, but the key thing is Azir was able to get the mid turret down as Origin goes to pick up a 3rd turret and take the first objective, which is something that Fnatic simply probably don't want happening. These are sort of objective plays they would like to be making. But here they are, 3 to the top, getting ready to push the top lane. Soaz by himself doesn't really have an answer. We're going to see if he's able to go ahead, wait for Mythic, and get this pushed off. Yes, it looks like they're not even going to get the top turret. And so what seems to be a poor rotational play on Fnatic's part for the time being, they're able to get a turret, but they give up a turret and a dragon for themselves. Though, to be honest, they get another kill onto Rainover. Rainover 4-1 at the moment. Really cultivating a lead, really going to get strong. And if a team fight happens in this mid-game coming up, Rainover's definitely going to be able to hit the backline with his Berserk, with a Whimsy from Lulu, a nice help picks, and really ensure that some damage gets done over there. But meanwhile, mid-turret being down is really going to help out Origin in putting down backwards, protecting themselves against any other rotation on the part of Fnatic, protecting themselves against ganks, and maybe even looking to go into the jungle themselves. So I think for the time being, farming gold lead should be the primary goal for this Origin team, trying to get those items, those key item builds out, IE for Tristana, Trinity Force, and IE for GP. We really need to get to those item spikes in order to even try to combat what Fnatic's going to do. Meanwhile, Fnatic gonna get to their item spike sooner. We see that Corki already has his Trinity Force. So in a team fight, Equalizer, good in any situation. Huni's gone ahead, picked up an Hourglass. He's going to be able to go in there, lay down the Equalizer, throw down Azania's. And right now, Reckless coming in on Niels, Valkyrie'd over with a nice Gatling gun. Almost has the kill, but Fevin saying, hey, I'm going to throw down a little help from Pix and take that for myself. You look like you're doing good in the farm. I'm having a little bit of trouble with his ear, so help out a brother. Let me get that kill. Able to get it out. But catching Niels by himself in an uncharacteristic move by Niels, who's been so crucial in each of Origin's wins, caught out, finds himself getting killed, and now Corki able to go ahead, push up the minions, farm a minion advantage over him, and this is another play that goes in favor of Fnatic. But meanwhile, Origin goes back into their jungle, gets Peke the blue buff, Peke able to move back into the mid lane, put pressure down on it, and continue farming his minion advantage over Feather. So at the time being, 10 is not too bad. Here they go. Cannon Barrage laid down. Looked like they were going to try to go for the gank onto the Peke. If he gets back soon enough people by Origin able to go ahead and deter Fnatic from even trying to dive the turret. Another failed rotation, another failed gank on the part of Fnatic. And they're going to have to start finding success if they want to start cultivating a gold lead, because right now, 26 to 27 is a gold lead going in favor of Origin is not where they want to find themselves right now. So Fnatic is going to need to find a way to make more things happen, to put some more pressure down, get that mid lane turret pushed, get that destroyed so they can start moving into Origin jungle and setting up forward warding themselves. Because right now, as it stands, there's one pink ward on the side of Fnatic, but very little vision otherwise. One in the very back on the red side of Origin, and now finally Huni's come over, throw down some blue wards. They've got the blue jungle on Origin's side lit up. But Origin, for the most part, for that little while, had a lot of good warding down around their ends to protect themselves from any bad ganks on the part of Fnatic. Yellow started recognizing this, trying to move into the jungle. Might be a little bit dangerous to move on his own, but nonetheless trying to set up some forward warding. And Soaz, here we have Huni looking to try to get a one-on-one with Soaz. And Soaz thought he might do it. And it's gonna discover he might be regretting this decision that he probably should have backed as he tries to teleport. The teleport will be barely successful. Wow, thank God that neither Reignover nor Huni have any sort of crowd control abilities on the part of Olaf or on Rumble, and he's able to go ahead and make the teleport play back to his Nexus area to go ahead and make some buying. So efficient in that sense, able to save his life, able to get the farming. But now Huni finds himself in a situational advantage. He can go ahead and push the lane while Fnatic can move somewhere else, distract Soaz, and if something goes down, he'll be able to use the teleport, move over, make something happen, while Soaz is just going to be left on the bottom lane to keep farming, and it could be a potential power shift in the game if Huni's able to go ahead and utilize his teleport in the next 4 to 5 minutes while Soaz is dead. Meanwhile, Niels waiting in the bush, waiting for the lane to push back, not wanting to get caught again. He's sitting there thinking he might be able to get something to make something happen as Miffy is heading over. We see him coming out, but Niels susses it out sooner too, and looks like he's going to go ahead and move down river, move down to where Reignover is, and Niels is just going to be happy enough to go ahead and get the minion farm. Meanwhile, Yellowstar and Huni pushing down the mid lane, gonna get with Fezvin, gonna get with Reckless, 5-min push down to the mid lane, gonna try to get this turret down, but Origin not quick to relent. But we have a nice equalizer. Reignover doesn't care, pushes down the mid lane. Huni able to get the kill onto Tazir. Explosive cast goes down, but it's not enough as Corki is able to miss a barrage onto Janna. They get 2 kills and the turret, and this is exactly the sort of plays that Fnatic want to be making to start pushing themselves ahead as they move down over to the Dragon, which has just gone live. And Origin, with 2 down, Tristana on top, are going to decide that it's not worth. They're going to let Fnatic go ahead and take the objective. And while Huni and Fevin move over to the top lane to go and either try to get the play on Niels or at the very least try to get the farm that's coming off the top turret. Looks like they might be able to go get it. Here we go. Help picks. Put on the Featherfin. Wild Gross goes up. Knocks him up. but a nice flash by Niels, and here are amazing as so as Huni drops his Zhonya's, but it's not enough, as Drunken Rage is enough to finish off the kill onto Huni. Nice turnaround, nice counterplay on the part of Origin. Very instinctive flash, great flash on the part of Niels, able to turn that around in a situation that looked dire. Let's go ahead and get the replay of what happened in the mid lane. Nice equalizer by Huni, enables them to push past the lane, enables Rainover to go ahead, push into the back lane. Cannon Barrage didn't mean much, neither did the turret because they went so far in. They went past that first tier turret, and they're able to go ahead, pick up some kills, pick up the kill onto Mithy as well with the Corki, and get that objective. That was just a beautiful play on the side of Fnatic, being fearless in the face of the turret, not letting it deter them where it might have deterred other teams, knowing their limits, knowing their bounds, and going ahead and taking an advantage and starting to pull themselves back out of the deficit, still down about 300 to 400 gold. But nonetheless, getting smart with those rotational advantages, and it's going to take a few more of those if Fnatic's going to want to go ahead and put themselves in a position to win this game, because as it stands right now, GP was down in farm to Huni, but now Soaz finding a way to get himself back in, already has Trinity Force, looking to pick up probably an Infinity Edge right now. Azir getting his farm, picking up that Nashor's Tooth, looking to probably pick up either a Zanya's or a Witch Cap. And Tristana already has two parts of what she needs, essentially the IE and the static shift. Rainover starting to go take up the Aegis, but he's going to need some armor too if he wants to go ahead and mitigate the damage coming out of Tristana in the late game. But right now, Origin in the place they want to be, they've mitigated the losses, they've been able to trade turrets, able to trade objectives, they're 1-1 in the Dragons, 3-3 in the turrets, and if things keep going like this, what Origin need to do is just go ahead and keep it up, and they'll be able to win this game. But meanwhile, Fnatic trying to get cheeky, trying to take advantage of a vision advantage, push for the Baron, perhaps trying to deter Soaz, but that's not enough. And now here's Origin picking up yet another turret. Things going their way. Fnatic trying to make a push on objective, didn't go their way, and it's these failed objective pushes, trying to make something happen, but not having success at it. That right now is the poison, is the disease that is slowly eating away at Fnatic. And if they don't make something happen within the next 10 to 15 minutes, if they don't start cultivating a gold lead, if they don't find a team fight to get themselves into, they're going to find themselves hard-pressed to win into the late game. So right now we see them crowding around the Baron, trying to make something happen on the top. Febiven, the chase goes on. Cannon Barrage gets pushed down. Buster Shot deters him. And Febiven and Reckless, yet again, fail in trying to make something happen. Fail to try to make the play on the Niels. And Origin, great vision, great awareness, able to be around each other close enough to deter Fnatic from allowing these ganks to go through. And Fnatic really scratching their heads. We're going to see what Yellowstar doesn't do. He's been known to pull himself out of situations like this. This is a Fnatic trademark. Hopefully he's going to be able to suss out a way to go ahead and bring Fnatic back. Find that big play that they need to capitalize and start making something happen to build that goal. Meanwhile, they have some really good vision playing around Origin's red jungle area. So in that sense, they'll be able to make a play there. They're gaining vision around Baron. It's a little bit early for Baron, so maybe just going ahead and getting vision. They might want to start thinking about prepping for the Dragon. Dragon's in 2 minutes, but Yellowstar and Rainover moving together to take out some pings, take out some vision on the red side of Origin's jungle. Finding themselves caught out. Drunken Rage, body slam, but in a turnaround, Equalizer goes down. Stunned by Annie, enough to go ahead and put Corki in a position to missile barrage and pick up the kill onto Gragas. Nice kill, but meanwhile, Soaz on the bottom lane, again, split pushing. Left by himself is going to be able to go ahead and push his bottom turret. Fnatic wanted to trade. Their inhib turret for Baron is starting to make a play while Yellowstar comes out, maybe hoping to deter them. Cannon Barrage goes down. Here's Origin. We're going to see if this isn't the turnaround that maybe they needed. Emperor's Divide comes out. Wild Growth put on to Huni. And now, Fnatic able to get the Baron. Monsoon comes out to deter Fnatic. And we're going to see if Origin's going to be able to push onto Fnatic. No, it looks like for the time being, Fnatic's able to get away with nothing more than Azir getting a kill onto Huni. And a turnaround by Fnatic. We're going to see Soaz use a teleport to come in. Wasn't able to get that bottom lane turret. And in the end, this is the play that Fnatic needed. traded Baron, not even for that bottom inhib turret. They're able to save the turret, get the Baron, and this is the push. Let's see the replay and what happened. Cannon Barrage comes down. Fnatic on their way to try and go ahead and get it. A nice multiple stun by Yellowstar. Emperorage Divide comes out. Peke just doing tons of damage in the Baron pit. Huni had the Wild Growth on him, Zhonya's, but it wasn't enough as Peke comes in the Baron pit and just is able to finish it off. But nonetheless, Fnatic able to pick up the Baron and force SOAS to move off the bottom lane and towards the Baron. And his attempt to save Baron might have cost him a bit because they could have easily been able to trade that bottom in-hit turret for that kill onto the Baron. But here we go, Fnatic taking the reins, taking charge, getting their gold lead back, getting this objective back, and looking to go ahead and push for the dragon. It looks like Origin might try to contest, SOAS puts down a few powder kegs, but it seems like they might just be half-hearted as the Pirate find themselves not willing to go out and get it. But here we go, Fnatic trying to make something happen. Looks like it was going to happen, but a nice cannon barrage is enough to deter them again. So Fnatic just come back, maybe decide. No, they decide right now the Dragon's not what they want. They want to go ahead, try to push for that top lane turret. But Niels with the explosive shot and the pushing power of Tristana, pushing down the mid lane, and I think getting a positional advantage over Fnatic. And here we go. We might have a base race. Fnatic coming in, trying to make something happen. OG, meanwhile, getting a free mid in-hit turret. Fnatic, Wild Growth goes down. Emperor's Divide goes down. Origin able to pick up the kill onto GP. We're going to see if Azir's enough to zone them away. And for the time being, it's simply not enough. As Niels and Mithy forced it back as Yellowstar and Rain overcome. But Fnatic able to pick up that mid lane turret with that nice kill on GP, able to trade. And on top of that, they're picking up the inhib as well. Wow. Perfect trade for Fnatic. This is exactly what they wanted. It looked like Tristana was going to have the better pushing power. But ultimately, in the end, Fnatic able to get the kill that they needed and get that inhib turret while deterring Tristana and Mithy from pushing down to the inhib turret as well. And now not only have they taken the top lane turret and the inhib turret, they're pushing for the dragon too. And this is yet another objective advantage that Fnatic's going to be able to pick up over Origin as we see the crowd going wild. Everybody's super excited about the plays that are happening. You can't... The excitement in this stadium is extremely palpable. I'm feeling it. I hope you guys at home are too. Meanwhile, Niels coming back up, getting ready to push the top lane. We're going to see where the next push is going to be. Fnatic able to push down into that bottom lane turret, that bottom lane inhib, get the inhib as well. And they're definitely going to want to ward up around Origin's red jungle. They start making plays, start pushing things, start either getting that red the second tier mid lane turret or the second tier top lane turret. For the time being, looks like they want to make a play around mid. We've got Yellowstar hovering around the top, throwing down the pink ward. They might just be trying to zone away Origin as Fnatic, 4 strong in the mid lane. Cannon Barrage comes down, but right now it's only Amazing and Azir. And even though Niels comes in, he comes in too late. Fnatic able to pick up another objective in the form of the mid lane turret, further pushing up their gold. And right now, for the first time in a while, Fnatic has taken the gold lead. They're up 400 gold. If they can keep making things happen at the pace that they're making things happen, this is the recipe that Fnatic wanted to go ahead and cultivate the mid-game gold lead to push for the win in under 40 minutes. And it looks like at the pace that they're going right now, they may just be able to do that. Fnatic getting together, getting ready to push the top lane. Origin trying to say something different, trying to make something happen. Huni hanging out behind the turret, able to put enough zoning to deter them. Fnatic pick up another second tier turret on the top lane, able to zone Origin away. Origin not sure that they can win team fights, even though they're of equal gold value. They're still respecting the mid-game power spike coming out of Fnatic and decide otherwise. And Fnatic slowly cultivating this lead now. Now they have a 1,000 gold lead. They've got all of the second tier turrets pushed down. They've got the inhib pushing. SOAS has to stay away. It's that 45 that Origin has to respect, because SOAS just has to stay down. And meanwhile, nice Monsoon comes out to deter Fnatic as they almost try to make something happen onto Origin. But the Monsoon for Mithy is enough to deter them. But SOAS being forced to stay down on the bottom lane, being forced to take care of the empowered siege minions that come as a result of the inhibitor being down. Just enough to allow Fnatic to make some good rotations opposite of where SOAS is, deter the rest of the Origin team, put a 4v5, create enough threat, enough zoning to start pushing down objectives. We've got Baron in a minute and a half, and we're going to see Fnatic maybe pushing down the top lane, but they're definitely going to want it back soon, use their money to go back and buy, and start setting up vision around that Baron build. In the meantime, we have Featherman, Yellowstar moving up with Kuni to go ahead, keep pressure on this mid lane, put down some vision, and they're getting ready to go ahead and ward up and do this Baron dance. Origin trying to make their way in, but right now it's going to be hard with Soaz on the bottom, and he's going to want to get that as pushed far down as he possibly can, in case Fnatic decide to engage in this Baron pit until the inhib comes back up. Meanwhile, there's a fight for vision up in Origin's red jungle. We're seeing Yellowstar hanging out with Huni, putting vision down. Origin afraid to go in. They're putting whatever safe vision they can. A pink in the Bosch. Oh! Nice stun by Mythius! Mythius gets caught up, doesn't see them in the push. They're able to make something happen. Suddenly, 4v5 again. We have Mythic down. We have Niels on the lamb, trying to go, trying to get away, trying to make a push on the top lane, just to buy himself time and at the very least keep Fnatic from pushing in case he died. Flame Spitter, Missile Barrage, too much for Niels. Niels caught out himself. Nice rotation on the part of Fnatic to take advantage of their position in the red jungle, take advantage of Mythic 1 to get vision down, and now down 2 people, so as being forced on the bottom lane to go ahead and deal with those siege minions that are coming in. Fnatic find themselves in a beautiful position to go ahead and take this Baron uncontested. It seems like Amaze's not going to want to try to be a hero, not going to want to try and steal it. And Fnatic get another Baron, which seems like almost for free. This one completely for free. The last one at the cost of Huni maybe, but that was it. And now Fnatic placing themselves in increasingly good positions, finding ways to put themselves in the gold advantage they wanted to find themselves in the beginning. In the beginning, it was rough going. They almost didn't get it. They were finding themselves being counter-jungled, finding a lot of good counter-rotations on the part of Origin that were really throwing a spoke in all of their plans. But finally, Yellowstar, the mastermind, able to draw plans together, able to take advantage of some poor rotations on Fnatic's part, able to take advantage of taking down the vision, using that for power, and now here they are, pushing down the mid lane with the Baron, and OG on their back foot. Niels taking an extreme amount of damage from Corki and from Mulu, is really on his back foot, gonna find it hard to defend this turret, which is already about a third down. And Fnatic just down on this mid lane turret, trying to push this turret down, using the Baron-powered minions to do that as well, putting down a good siege. Meanwhile, Huni on the bottom is going to make a play down towards the bottom lane inhibitor. We're going to see how Origin's going to want to play this. Do they send Soaz to go and contest it, or are they afraid of the push from Fnatic enough to try to keep a 5-man around the turret to ensure that at least that turret stands up, and that they can at least try to last long enough, because that inhib will come back. That mid lane inhib turret won't. So we'll see the kind of play they want to make. Meanwhile, though, Origin kind of back, use some buying, Dragon's up again, to get some lanes pushed. They might just want to go ahead, have Reckless push on the top, get some pressure put up there, and have about 2 to 3 men go ahead and take the Dragon. We do see Featherman and Rainover right now getting ready to take the Dragon. Origin being forced towards their base. They're left inside the gates, unable to move out. They don't have any vision anymore. There's three wards up for Origin. Otherwise, their jungle is completely flat. It's completely black. They're left in the fog of war. Fnatic able to put good pressure. Huni pushing up on the bottom lane. Reckless putting good pressure on the top lane. OG getting desperate, trying to make something happen with a cannon barrage, but to no avail because they just decided it's not worth it. It's not time to go in, and now cannon barrage used up. Fnatic know that, and it might just be getting ready to set up. Oh wow! But Yellowstar takes massive damage from the Sand Soldiers. Peke putting down some good zoning mechanisms, enough to deter Fnatic from what would have been probably a push for the inhib turret and maybe a game-ending team fight. But Peke showing good mechanical skill, good zoning from the Zir, able to buy Origin more time. Meanwhile, Valkyrie by Reckless, the hero Reckless, trying to make something happen. Emperor's Divide comes out, but Andy's Timbers able to take him out, and they're gonna go ahead get this inhib turret because it's 4v5 right now, and OG just can't handle. Niels trying to show that he's got more bite than Bard. Tries to put on some poke, but it's not enough, and Fnatic know they've got nothing. And so now we have another inhib down. So it's going to be forced to be down there, forced to deal with those siege minions coming up the bottom lane. And Fnatic placing themselves in the mid. 20 seconds left on Peke. One of their main damage dealers. They know they can probably zone themselves well enough to get this turret down. And here we go. Equalizer. Push down. Flame Splitter up. Amazing. Not to be deterred. Cannon Barrage goes down. Zonya's put onto it. But Niels getting some nice damage onto Reckless. But Reckless gets a Wild Growth to save his life. Monsoon comes out. Looks like the Talisman comes out. They're trying to make something happen. But Fnatic able to zone. Able to go ahead. Kite back. And find themselves out of a bad situation. Wow. Niels really starting to get strong. He's got Bloodthirst, he's got Status Shift, he's got IE, and he's really coming into a force of his own. And to top it all off, he's also picked up a Quicksilver Sash because he knows that one bad Tibbers, one bad engagement can mean the turnaround for his team. He's been the hero so far. He's not going to let that happen. He's got that down. But really for the time being, the only tanky person on the side of Olaf we see is, on the side of Fnatic is Olaf. He's got the Randuin zone. But other than that, yet again, Fnatic not really having many more tanky members. Niels realized this and decides to go for a Bloodthirster instead of the Last Whisper. So we're going to see if maybe he can't be the hero again. Take Tristana and use her to go ahead and take that team on his back and rocket jump him back to victory. The only difference now is that Fnatic has Lulu. We'll see how much of an impact that was last time. How much the Whimsies, how much the Help Pixies were really enabling Niels to go ahead, be the front line of their team, almost a tank, take the poke damage, and be the hero that took the game. Right now, he doesn't have that anymore. He's got the shield on the part of Mithy, but Mithy, being a support, doesn't have nearly the ability power to stack on the shields like before. And right now, we have Origin again, trying to make something happen. Throws down a counter barrage. But some good zoning on the part of Fnatic. They decide otherwise, and now they're trying to take a rotational advantage, keep Fnatic from coming in on the side, and they're going to try to push for this mid lane inhibitor as Sherma's Legacy comes up. OG coming down. Niels and Peke on the inhib. They're able to get the mid lane inhib, but meanwhile, Reckless on the top, picking up that top lane turret. He's going to be able to get maybe even this inhibitor as well as OG back, and maybe getting that one hit was not worth losing the top inhib turret or the inhibitor. Wow. What appeared to be a superior rotational advantage, yet again turned around by Fnatic. I don't know if that was Reckless seeing that or Yellowstar telling him just to keep pushing, but that was so smart. They were going to go ahead and get zoned out anyway. To have Reckless up there, to have him keep pushing, and to understand that they're going to lose that inhib, not to die in a team fight, not to lose, not to lose out on death timers and put themselves in a bad rotation. Nice counter rotation on the part of Fnatic to go ahead and not only get an inhib, but take the inhib turret. And it seems that trade is yet again going in favor of Fnatic. As Fnatic pushing themselves almost 3k gold out, little by little, getting these gold advantages. But the thing is, they're approaching 40 minutes. They're approaching the late game. And the further in we go, the less importance that gold lead is going to have for Fnatic. And the bigger of an advantage OG is going to start to get. GP's already got Trinity Force. He's already got IE. Picked up a Malama Mortis. He's getting to the late game point he wants to be in. Same thing with Peke. He's got the Rylai's. He's got the Death Cap. He's got the Nashor's too. He's becoming a force of his own, and the same with Tristana. Now here we go again. Let's see if Fnatic can take advantage of Origin's lack of warding in the red side jungle. For the time being they can't, but yet again, third Baron of the game for Fnatic as Baron starts to come up. And Origin really left on their back foot with 2 inhibs down and those massive siege minions coming in. They might not be able to take it. And Fnatic, yeah, go uncontested. Yet again, another free Baron. And this can prove extremely detrimental for the side of Origin. As Fnatic going in, probably try to make a last push. They've got opposite inhibitors down too. So they're going to have 2 huge waves of siege minions that Origin's going to have to deal with. They may not have the manpower to save themselves from whatever Fnatic's going to bring down the mid lane. As they come up, they group up, 5 men strong. Got all of the Baron minions coming up with them. So as trying to lay some good poke down before the minions got there, not really able to set up the powder cake in time. Wow, but a nice powder cake put some pretty good damage on Huni and Reckless. We'll see if that might be enough to deter them. The one good thing Origin has is that they were able to take down that mid inhib And so they'll have those siege minions, which are going to deter Fnatic a little bit. But let's see what they have to do, because right now they just had an inhib come up. So it looks like one more good push, they'll be able to get that. But maybe Fnatic, seeing this, knows that they won't have to take turret damage. Perhaps with the Baron buff, they'll think that they can go ahead and take a 5v5. Let's see as they all push up, getting ready to try to take this inhib. Origin looking to zone out. Neil becoming a force of his own. Looking to trade with Reckless. Cannon Barrage goes up. Rain over. Ult. Tries to go in. Decides against it. But right now, oof! Nice Valkyrie Wall Growth is able to save Reckless's life. Peke getting some good zoning. Looked like they were going to have enough. Equalizer. Goes down. Not enough. Neil's able to get the kill onto Rain over. Right now, Huni equalized. Emperor's Divide has gone down. Not enough. Gragas picks up the kill onto Huni. And now here we go. A fight is broken out. And so far, it's gone in the favor of Origin in a 2-0 trade. But Origin, so many people left on the cusp of dying. I don't even know how they're able to survive that. Great teamwork on the side of Origin as they're able to go ahead and ward off Fnatic for yet another push. And even that with the Baron Empowered buff. Right now, even though they lost that objective, Fnatic not willing to let anything go, able to take the dragon before Origin's able to go down and put some pressure on it themselves. But wow, what a great play on the side of Origin. What great teamwork. Go ahead and place themselves in a situation to go ahead and get those 2-4 kills. Let's see what they can make of it. They push down the mid lane turret. Are they going to be able to take any objectives, or are they just going to be happy to ward up, farm up, keep building for that late game, hope for another team fight like that to go down so they can go ahead, perhaps even get 3 to 4 champions on the side of Fnatic and make for a late game push themselves. Right now we're going to have quite a bit of time as the Baron's going to take a while to spawn. Dragon was just taken, so that's another 5 minutes on Dragon. We're going to see what Fnatic wants to do. They've still got the top inhib exposed, but we're going to see if either they want to push down the mid lane, push for the bottom inhib, or maybe in a rotation try to catch Origin in a dark spot, and push into the jungle, maybe red side or blue side, and try to make something happen on that end. We've yet to find out. We're going to see right now, so far, they're all grouped up, they're all in the mid lane. Origin putting some nice warding down around the river area, still sort of lackluster in their own jungle. That's where Yellow Star and Rainover have been able to make some magic happen. Let's see what happens right now. Origin being willing to push down the mid. Yellow Star on the back end. Equalizer goes down. Azir deleted off the map. Rainover got Ragnarok. Got a little help picks. Niels looking in some dire need of help. Mythic goes down. Double kill for Huni. Niels down. And what is a turnover fight? Triple kill for Huni. Annie able to get the kill on the Gragas, and Sauce trying to flee, trying to escape, but that might not be enough. Wow! With just a scrap of health, who knows how he lived, but nonetheless, we've got 50-second death timers. We've got Origin pushing down the mid lane. We've got Origin willing to take these turrets, and Origin looking like they're gonna be the 2015 Summer Split champions as they push down these inhib turrets. Sauce, the last hope, the last standout. We're gonna see if Powder Cake is enough. It's just not. As wow, Huni takes the turret for his brothers and is able to put them in a position to shatter Origin's Nexus and their hopes of getting to Worlds through the EU Championship Finals. Fnatic, Summer Split champions, pulling themselves out of a goal deficit, able to pull some great rotations and get themselves back in the lead and win this game before the late game came and Origin could manipulate on team fight advantages. Fnatic looking extremely relieved. Both teams were on the cusp of victory. Both teams know it. Both teams definitely have a lot of respect. You can see the love between the old Fnatic members and the current Fnatic members. And what a series this was. Fnatic pushed to the very brink. The perfect season. And although they didn't go 3-0 in this playoffs, I nonetheless believe that this was the perfect end to the perfect season. What a series. 3-2 in favor of Fnatic. Now Fnatic are going to be able to go back, look at this tape, and see where it is that they're going to have to go ahead and work on. What areas they need to work on. So in that aspect, going 3-2, there can be nothing better. They know they have a lot to work on, and Origin's giving them a lot to go over to get them prepared to get the finals. and probably breathing a sigh of relief as he knows that H2K is automatically qualified for championship points to get to Worlds themselves. Yamato probably getting a bit of a furrowed brow there because he knows he's going to have to face this tough Origin team in the regional qualifiers in order to get his team to Worlds. But congratulations to Fnatic, the EU Summer Championship finalists. What an amazing series. I hope everybody at home enjoyed this game as much as I did. This was a fantastic game of League of Legends. This is why I watch the sport. This is why I love the game. There's nothing else like this. What a series. What a set of games. Fnatic, EU Summer Champion, the EU Summer Championship finalists. Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing this stream. And keep coming back because things only get more exciting from here as we head straight to Worlds.